It's been a rough 24 hours after a historic November snowstorm moved through Colorado. Tonight, people are digging out and waiting for the power to come back on. A Republican's lead is growing in Colorado's closest congressional race as the efforts continue to try and fix ballots with signature issues. And Denver needs to rethink an affordable housing plan after the mayor concedes that his affordable housing tax will not pass. After the snow has passed, it is time for the melting to begin. Roads across the state finally back open this evening now that this historic November storm has moved out. I-70 and I-25 now open throughout the state for the first time in days as the snow here in the metro area continues to melt. It was one of those weird storms where we got all the snow down here at the lower elevations. Up in the high country, they didn't nearly see as much. Still some slick roads up there by the Eisenhower Tunnel this evening. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. I'm Mark Salinger. There were several days this week when the town of Lyman out on the Eastern Plains was pretty much cut off from the rest of the state. 35 inches of snow out there closed all the major roads and highways in and out. 9 News reporter Colton Chavez made it out to Lincoln County today as first responders now help everyone dig out.
The snow has stopped falling, but for the town of Lyman, they're still digging themselves out.
Most people still can't get out of their houses, and so just plowing driveways, kind of getting that relief work so that people can have a safe weekend.
Corinne Perry, the fire chief for the Lyman Area Fire Protection District, says guaranteeing that safe weekend also meant putting in long hours last night.
We took supplies over to a town about 10 miles over with the National Guard yesterday. We plowed driveways today. We've been really kind of just helping out the communities as much as we can.
I got into it on Thursday morning and stayed into it till 1:30 Friday morning and then put in another 12 today. So yeah, we've had some grueling hours.
Town of Lyman Police Chief Lynn Yowell says those grueling hours made better thanks to the help from the fire district and the National Guard.
Last night got real intense with the wind. We've had a lot of snow over the last 4 days, and that's an event that we haven't seen much of for quite a few years, maybe 20, 30 years now.
Fire Chief Perry says equipment like this one from the National Guard helped them deliver supplies to people stranded in the snow.
Next thing you know, I'm in the back of it with supplies, and I mean, it was very scary.
And the piece of equipment that Chief Perry was talking about is actually called a SUSV. You can see it behind, still working these roads. And what Chief Perry told me is that it was imperative to helping them rescue people still stuck in the snow.
Not to mention also helping other first responders.
The wind was blowing the snow back in right behind us, and then we're getting ourselves stuck, and then somebody else has got to come and help get us out.
So as the snow in this small town slowly turns into slush, the town of Lyman's dedication to always help those in need will never melt away.
Our department is all volunteer, and so the essence of volunteering is just neighbors helping neighbors.
In Lyman,
It could have been worse by far.
Colton Chavez, 9 News.
Tonight, power is still out in some places as people across the metro area and Eastern Plains clean up. Crews were out in full force today, clearing off that heavy snow from those branches. Here's a look at Xcel's power outage map right now. There are just under 300 outages impacting roughly 2,500 customers. That's a heck of a lot better than it was this morning when tens of thousands of people spent the night without power. I want to bring in weather impact team meteorologist Lauren Robinson now. And Lauren, the worst is done. It's all moved out, and now it almost feels like the warm's coming in and starting to melt everything.
Right. We're going to see a lot of melting over the next few days with sun shining and temperatures in the 50s. And as we look at our live radar, you can see the system that had slowly moved its way through the Four Corners region, dumped so much snow across the eastern half of Colorado and kept on moving, is now churning over parts of Nebraska. But behind it, it's seeing a long line of showers going all the way south through Louisiana. But as we zoom into Colorado here, you can see we're all mostly pretty dry and clear. We have some lingering light flurries south of Denver between Castle Rock and Colorado Springs. Those are going to continue to dry up as we go through the overnight hours as well. So as you're planning your Sunday, we're going to get a lot of sunshine, but we will start off pretty chilly with overnight lows in the upper 20s to low 30s. If you're going to be out early tomorrow morning, of course you need to be bundled up. But by tomorrow afternoon, we're going to be seeing those temperatures in the lower 50s, and then we calm down by tomorrow evening. I'll have more details on what we can expect in the week ahead, just ahead in my full 7-day forecast.
Lauren, thank you. The snow this week played a role in a crash that killed a Golden police officer and injured another. We now know that officer, Bethany Grusing, was seriously hurt when a suspected DUI driver crashed into her on Wednesday. Grusing was out responding to another crash with her partner, Officer Evan Dunn, when they were hit. Dunn died on the scene. He was only 33 years old and had just graduated from the police academy in July. Right now, there's a growing memorial for him outside the Golden Police Department. They even put a shelter up during the snow. A fund has also been set up for Officer Grusing as she continues to recover. We've added a link to that on our website, 9news.com. Moving to politics now, we likely won't know the winner of Colorado's closest contested congressional race for several more days. But as more ballots come in, things aren't looking so hot for Democrat Yadira Caraveo. Republican Dave Evans extended his lead this evening in the race to represent Colorado's 8th congressional district. Evans now up more than 2,000 votes, a lead that he's maintained throughout today after first taking the lead for the first time since election night last night. Both campaigns are out right now trying to get ballots flagged for signature verifications cured. That means they're going through voter logs and finding people who they think voted for their candidate and getting them to verify their signatures so their vote is counted. The deadline to cure those ballots is Wednesday of next week. Now, these are the latest vote totals. I want to show you now. Evans is up by exactly 2,202 votes. It is close. We're told most of the outstanding votes in Adams County should be tallied up by now, just a small number remaining. The clerk there told me this morning that there will be about 4,000 to 5,000 ballots that need to be cured left. They couldn't work yesterday because of the snow that moved in. Back here in Denver, Denver Mayor Mike Johnston officially conceded today that his affordable housing tax will be defeated by voters. Ballot issue 2R will lose by just around 2%, just over 6,000 votes. The sales tax was championed by the mayor as a way to make Denver more affordable for everyone. He says Denver will be short more than 40,000 affordable homes over the next decade. It was a short campaign to try and pass it. Johnston announced it back in July, and it passed through city council soon after. He says the city doesn't have the money to build the necessary affordable housing needed without something like a sales tax like this.
We know that affordable housing can be more complicated and more controversial. That's why it's harder to build. That's why we have a shortage of it. That's why we need more of it.
Johnston told me on Wednesday that nothing is off the table for how to pay for affordable housing, including putting another tax on the ballot for voters sometime in the future. Now, Denver voters split their votes on raising taxes. Voters overwhelmingly approved a new sales tax that will benefit Denver Health and help the hospital pay for uncompensated care. More than 20,000 people who voted for ballot issue 2Q also voted against ballot issue 2R.